Okay, so Alan, I'm going to ask you a question. Have you ever attended a cultural event or a celebration that is different from the ones you have attended here in England?
Yes, I have. And I think the most interesting one was when I went to a wedding in the Atlas Mountains in Algeria, a wedding between a Berber couple. There were some very interesting differences and contrasts between weddings I'd been to in my own country and the wedding event that I went to in Algeria. The first thing that surprised me that was very different is that before the wedding we had a meal and all the men sat completely separate from the ladies. Now, in a wedding in England, the guests have their meal when the marriage itself, the ceremony, is finished. But this meal was the very first thing that happened.
Okay.
It was almost as if the whole thing was done the other way round to an English wedding. Because at an English wedding, the man, who's called the groom, arrives first, and he then waits for the lady, his bride, to arrive. But after the meal, at this wedding, we were all dancing before even any aspect of the wedding had happened. The dancing at an English wedding takes place after you've had the meal, after the bride and groom are married. But in this case, the bride arrived, was dressed in a very smart, very nice outfit, and she was escorted by a man. And then she went on to a little stage that was all decorated and very colourful. And I had my camera with me, so I was happy to take photographs because they then posed for photographs. The bride then left and went out, and changed what she was wearing and came back with a different man. Sometimes it was a brother or her father or an uncle. And this arrival and walking through all the guests going onto this little stage was repeated with different outfits that the bride was wearing 7 times. So all of this took place without the man, the groom, even being there. So that was completely different to an English wedding.
Mhm.
And then when she'd had the 7 arrivals, really, in different outfits, it was only then that the groom himself arrived.
Okay, right. And did you enjoy being there?
One of the things I enjoyed the most, but this is my personal enjoyment, was how welcome I was made. They made me feel very special because we were high in the Atlas Mountains, one of the highest villages in the mountains, and of course, I was the only English person there, and probably one of the very few English people who's been to that village. So, particularly, the bride's father made me feel very welcome, but everybody else did as well. So, it was a really pleasant experience to be there.
Okay. Would you go again?
Of course, I would. I've been back to the Atlas Mountains and I've been to villages, but I haven't been to a wedding again. But I would like to because I would know what to expect and be more prepared to be involved.
Okay, thank you very much.